What is going on, Dolphins? It's your boy Dillon, and I got another episode for you, another one. Got some interesting, fun news, some good stuff, some injury report stuff, some yeah. So we'll get to it, and of course I have Adam Gase's press conference. He had one today, so I'll put that in for you, and Ryan Tannehill had one too. So make sure you get all that. First thing though, I want to talk about, just real quick, a little side note. I've been rewatching our game, studying the film, checking up on it and stuff, and getting prepared to make my preview video for the next game against the Jets. I'll rewatch their game too, of course. Anyway, so that's for that. But just interesting note, I noticed that Cordrea Tankersley changed his number from 30 to 23. So that's interesting. Next though, want to talk about Jakeem Grant. He had that 102-yard kickoff return during the game, and he got named the AFC AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, which is really cool. Good for him. That's awesome. That's one of the first of many awards that are going to be coming to our players and our team this year. Just wait and see. So that was cool. That was awesome. Let's see. Also, some good news. Parker is out at practice, or was out at practice today, and he was catching balls. So he's definitely taken some strides. I hope he is ready for this upcoming game. I don't know. It's kind of iffy still at this point. And I do ultimately want him, when he comes back, to be, all the way healthy. So if they feel like they need to keep him out, I think we'll be fine without him for this game. And honestly, I'm not all that worried about his health for the remainder of the year. I think the broken finger thing was kind of, it's just kind of an unfortunate injury. I mean, his finger got stuck in the pads of another player, and he broke it. So there's that. It's not the same type of injuries that he's been having, like the soft tissue injuries, or like ankle issues and stuff like that. And he's been doing a lot more. There were reports, in the off season and stuff, about how he's been doing a lot more with eating right, sleeping, his conditioning, stuff like that. And he was working with trainers, on specific drills and stuff like that, and exercises to strengthen his legs, and all that good stuff. So I'm not too worried about, and I do think that he is sick and tired of everybody, trashing him, and he wants to prove himself. And I hope that's the case. I mean, if he doesn't after this year, then it could very well end up being a no-go. Who knows? I don't know. But I still have hope. I'm still going to remain having hope for this year for Devontae Parker. I'm wearing his jersey right now, number 11. So I do hope he comes back, but ultimately when he's most healthy, so if that happens to be in week 3, fine. I do think that he is going to he adds another element to our offense, because all of our receivers are diminutive. They're smaller, except for Tanny McAvoy, who actually is a larger receiver, but he's still got to get caught up. And so on and so forth. And when Parker comes back, Parker's obviously going to be way ahead of him in the depth chart. So, but he adds a different element to the wide receiving core and to the offense, because he is that big, go up and get it receiver. So with his renewed work ethic this year and all that good stuff, I think his health is going to be overall improved. He had an unfortunate injury, but Fortunately, though, it was an unfortunate injury, but fortunately it wasn't one that's so bad that he won't be able to come back. So when he does come back, I think he's going to produce for us. I think he's going to make our offense just that much more dynamic. And I like our run game. I like the offensive line. We've only just started to get a taste of it. It was only the first game, but I do like the receiver core, and I like the tight ends, man. I wish we had Marquise Gray, though. I really do. I wish he was in there. I wish we didn't lose him for the season. But it is what it is, But in any event, I really do like the entirety of our offense. So I'm still, hopeful and stuff that it's going to be, what we all expect it to be. And I do think it is going to, as the year goes on, I believe that this team is going to continue to get better and better and better. And the good teams do that, right? So, every week they get a little bit better, and they continue that on. They're playing their best football in December, January, right? If they make it that far. And so I feel pretty confident that this Adam Gase-led team, with the players that he has, the people like Amendola and Quinn and Sitton and Kilgore and Gore, right? These guys, that veteran leadership, the culture's real. That is a huge element of a football team, right? And that's part of how, the fucking Philadelphia Eagles last year did what they did, because it was a team thing. It wasn't just, the star power. And that's part of why we got rid of, the Sues and the Landrys, right? So anyway, I'm kind of going, off on a little tangent here. Point is, though, is I think that, this team is going, Parker and this team are going to, start really living up to the potential. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is, mark my words, at some point during the season, speaking of Philly, we are going to see a Philly special. So if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's I don't remember who the receiver or running back or whoever it was that threw the pass, but one of the Philadelphia receivers or running backs, whatever, threw a pass to Nick Foles. And it was a big play. They got like a first down or a touchdown. I don't remember it exactly. But anyway, it was a big play. It was a huge deal. Nick Foles caught the pass. And then the Patriots did the same thing, but Brady dropped his. Anyway, so, but mark my words, we will see that from our team this year. It's going to happen. Think about it. And just use some of the stuff that we saw in this first game. They lined Albert Wilson up in the backfield quite a bit, and or a few times, and they do intend to do that at various points throughout the season. It's part of the creativity of Adam Gase and why he loves the players that he has with the versatility that they have, because he can move them around. They're chess pieces. He can move them around all over the place and create all kinds of crazy mismatches. Now think about this. We have a quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, who played a significant amount of time in college at wide receiver. Okay? We all know he's a good athlete. He can run, he can move. He knows that position really well, wide receiver. Now, also think about this. Albert Wilson, a receiver that we have lined up in the backfield, not just because, I guarantee you, watch this, not just because he also played running back in his, come up his career. He played running back and stuff in high school or whatever. So he has that under his belt on his resume, but he also played quarterback. We have a wide receiver that has played running back and quarterback, and we have a quarterback that has played wide receiver. If Adam Gase doesn't do that, just for the fuck of it, really, at some point, he could just be like, we could be destroying somebody, and he'd just be like, you know what, I'm just going to throw it in. It's going to be fun. It's going to be humiliating. We're kicking their ass, and look, I'm just going to rub it in their face by, Philly specialing them, with Tannehill. And watch, Tannehill's going to break a big run. He's going to get like a 70-yard touchdown or something. I don't know. I hope so. That would be really cool. That'd be super exciting. But it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. So, you know, keep a lookout for that. And I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong, because I kind of feel like an idiot if I end up being wrong and they never do it. But I just feel like it makes too much sense, right? Because then it also plays into that whole thing about how, you know, Adam Gase is, you know, he likes to move his pieces around. He likes to have versatility amongst his players, so that way he can be very unpredictable. It gives him, you know, one reason why we brought Gase here, not just because of his ability with quarterbacks, but because of his offensive mastermind, you know, ness. You know, right? The way that he calculates on offense, his creativity in designing plays. He's brilliant. So, and that's why the culture and, you know, building the team the way that Gase wanted is so important, because now he has everything that he needs. And also, so one more thing too, talking about the team, you know, I as I'm watching, you know, I watched the Jets game. Obviously, you know, you guys saw the video I did about that. And, you know, everybody's hyping the Jets up, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was fair, you know, they did some good things. Sam Darnold is going to be their future. They got a pretty good secondary, you know, blah, 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 right? And a decent, you know, a nice defensive line. So, you know, they got some good stuff. And I think that they are improved over last year. I think they're going to continue to improve. I think that they are going to, you know, be a player. You know, they're going to help make the AFC East more competitive again. Right now, the Bills are super struggling. And, you know, they during the game replaced Nathan Peterman with Josh Allen, and have recently named Josh Allen the starter for this next game that they play. So, you know, they're struggling, but I think the AFC East is going to get more competitive, especially because I also believe that the Patriots' decline is coming soon, very soon. I think we're going to steal the division from them this year. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know, where I've talked about that, then you know that. But I think we're going to steal the division from them this year. But anyway, my point was, though, is so I watched that game. I've, you know, been rewatching our game. I'll rewatch their game again, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But I totally think the more that I have been watching it, I really do think we're going to smash on them in this upcoming game. I mean, because they're really not as good, though, as for two reasons. One, it's a combination of things, right? So just simply a combination of two things. One, they're not as good as it would have indicated just by, you know, the surface information, meaning the score and just the raw stats data, right? That stuff is important, but the film study is equally, if not more important. And the fact of the matter is that the Detroit Lions played like poo-poo. They played like trash, crap. They were gross. They were nasty. They were, if you know, saw my video about that, then you know what I'm talking about. I already said it all. So they were not good at all. I firmly believe that it was more indicative of the outcome was more indicative of the terrible play of the Lions, as opposed to the tremendous play of the Jets, right? And so the other thing that is coupled with that is that we are a lot better than what people think. This team is going to be something special. It's going to come together, and it's like I said, we're going to keep improving each and every week. And I think we're going to definitely go up there into their house, and we are just going to stomp them out. We're going to they're not going to do what they did to us, or excuse me, did to the Lions last week. It's not going to happen. Ryan Tannehill's not going to throw 5 interceptions. That's crazy. It's crazy. Matthew Stafford was making the most horrendous mistakes. Tannehill is generally really good with the football. I think the most most interceptions he's had in a year, I think, is 12 or 13. He's pretty good about, and he doesn't hardly lose fumbles. He's really good about that. He's lost a couple for sure, but he doesn't turn the ball over that much. He's not going to throw 5 interceptions, and certainly the Jets are not going to have back-to-back games where they, whatever. And obviously we're going to study, the team is this week studying that film and blah, 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 blah. Look, we're going to go in there and we are going to humble them, and we are going to, show the NFL and the world that we are better than what everybody thinks, and that what happened last week was, it's definitely not going to be the norm. But, like I said, I do think that the Jets are going to be a little more competitive this year, and I think they are overall going to be better than they were last year, for sure. And they're going to help make the AFC East more competitive again, but they are not that good. Not that good. And so, they'll probably have some pretty solid games. Most of their games maybe this year will be, solid. They'll be well played. But they're not just gonna smash on teams like that all year. Crazy. Anyway, so I digress. With all that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get you these interviews. I hope you like those. I hope you like the video. It's always a lot of fun when I make these for you. So if you do like it, show the love, show the support, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, which is most important, and then second most important, share it with your friends. Leave questions, comments, concerns, all that stuff. I love when you guys interact. It's fun. I love talking to you guys. So, definitely get involved and continue to get involved. For those of you who have, for those of you who haven't, go ahead and just drop a line. If you want to ask something, if you want to, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, whatever you got, throw it my way and we'll talk. Anyway, so with that, I am signing off. I will see you guys soon, and fins up.
We're early in the season. Adam threw us a bone, giving us some time off, time away after a long Sunday. But we knew as a team, as a group, that we needed to be able to learn from that film. There was a lot of mistakes that were made, left a lot on the field, and with the way the season's set up, if you don't get that tape in on Monday, you don't really have time for it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You want to move on to the next game. So just wanted to make sure we learned from the tape, and the guys did a good job of coming in and being engaged and growing as a unit.
Is that what they mean by team culture? I mean, were there guys maybe in the past, not naming names, that maybe would have resisted something like that?
No, I don't know. I think it means we have good guys in the room now, and guys that are hungry to be great. I think we're not where we want to be yet, but we're on the right path, and we've established the habits that are going to take us there.
As you know, the Jets, after their win, some of the defensive players were talking about knowing the signals for the lines. How do you guys prevent that from happening to you?
We have to be clean in our communication, whether that's changing the signals, making sure we're clean with our signals, huddle. There's going to be all types of different ways that we battle that. But yeah, it comes down to us and the way we communicate, and doing it in a way where we feel good about where we're at.
Is it an inconvenience? Does it mess up the process in any way for you?
I don't think it messes up anything. Obviously, take a little time to go over what we have and make some adjustments, but I wouldn't say it detracts from anything.
Did you watch the Jets game on Monday?
Yeah, I did. I watched it live with my wife, and then obviously came in and watched the tape from the whatever you call it, the all 22 view or whatever. But yeah, it was a exciting game. Started close, and then the Jets really turned it on there in the second half, and won that run where they scored, I think, 21 points in like 3 minutes or something like that. So have a ton of respect for this team. The defense played really fast. I think that's something that jumped out at me on tape, is just they played fast the whole game. even though it was tight early on, there's team speed and the way that they were playing was just fast all around. So definitely something that we respect and have to be prepared for.
What did you think of Darnold?
He responded well. Obviously the first play, but the way he responded was admirable. Definitely respect how he bounced back from that and found a way to lead his team and get the W.
Yeah, to go on the road, I guess, in your first week, your first pass is a pick 6, and to come back and put 48 for it, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he did a good job.
What would you tell your rookie self if, like, you could go back in time right now?
That'd be a lot more than I can tell you right now. But yeah, you learn so much over the course of your career. Year 7 now, so yeah, if I knew then what I know now, I think that's how everyone feels. But yeah, you just kind of have to go through the process and take the lumps along the way. But it's definitely a growing process.
You physically were fine, got through the game fine. It was the first full game, I guess, in 20 months or whatever.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line did a great job throughout the game. I had a really clean pocket for most of the game. It gave me time to go through my reads, make a couple down the field throws, especially the long one to touchdown to Kenny. Going back look at the tape, there was no one around me, and when you have a clean pocket like that, it makes playing quarterback a lot easier and delivering the football a lot easier. So a lot of respect and props for my guys up front and how they protected me.
Obviously, you played this rivalry many times. What is different about playing the Jets and any other team?
It's always an exciting game. I feel like all division games, have that extra buzz around them. But I feel like when we play the Jets, it's always turned up just a little bit more. There's I don't know what makes it that way or why it's that way. Maybe it's just the competitiveness of the games, but there always is an energy that goes with playing with the Jets.
How do you feel about playing at MetLife Stadium? Do you love playing up there? The fans are always on top of you, and obviously want to see the Jets win.
Yeah, I like playing on the road. No matter where it is, just the hostility of the environment, the feeling that you're kind of alone as a team. You really have to kind of stick together, anchor down, feed off the crowd as much as you can, even though they're rooting against you, and be clean. It really tests you on your communication, on trusting the guy next to you, because you can't hear everything that one another's saying, right? You have to be clean in everything, whether it's a signal or a communication outside, a communication up front with the offensive line. Everything has to be clean. So it really is a good test anytime you go on the road, and there's nothing better than getting a win on the road.
When you're in front of a rabid, if you're in front of a rabid crowd, what's it like to silence that crowd?
That's the best. When you get a win on the road and you get to feel the energy zap out of an entire stadium with 70, 80,000 people, and you can just feel the energy drop out of the whole stadium. It's the best feeling.
So Casey Rogers from his time here, and obviously Todd Bowles in that defense. What is it about them that make life for a quarterback difficult?
They show you a lot of looks. They do a good job of mixing things up front. They play physical, I think, within the box. Then you had 33, who they added on last year. He's a strong, physical, fast player. He generates a lot of pressure from the edge. Does a good job, whether it's rushing tight ends, rushing backs, finding a way to get around the edge and be disruptive. So they do a good job of matching their personnel with their pressures and giving you a bunch of different looks. Third down, I feel like there's always something that you haven't seen on tape. They're going to mix it up, do something you're not prepared for, and see how you respond. So as a unit, we have to know our rules and be clean on how we respond to that.
A question about Devontae. If he is able to play this week, what element does he add to this offense that maybe without him you don't have?
Yeah, we've seen what Devontae can do over the years. I think he's obviously a big, strong, physical target. I don't know if he's going to play or not. We haven't even discussed that. But anytime he's in the game, you feel good about having a physical, strong target at the X spot that can go up and make plays for you.
Do you need timing, I guess, because you can work with him so much in the spring, or do you think it will just pick up wherever you left off?
Yeah, obviously he's going to need to practice before he plays. But yeah, I've had a lot of time with him over the course of the last 4 years. So yeah, whenever he's able to hop in, I feel like we can kind of just pick up where we left off.
Matt Burke is game planning, and you asked the guy who's making a second start in the NFL. Do you recall your rookie year where defensives disguising things? What was it like your first few games? Or were they trying to trick you at all? How did that work?
Yeah, I don't know that any more of that goes into it. Maybe a little bit more pressure, but yeah, I don't think the teams are going to do something that they don't do. Like if they're a pressure team that's going to mix up a bunch of looks, then that's what they're going to do. You know, I don't think you're going to see a team that plays, 5 match and cover 2, and then all of a sudden they're going to bring crazy blitz zones and play cover 0. So yeah, I think teams are who they are. Maybe a little more one way than the other, but at the end of the day, you got to be who you are and be good at it.
You mentioned picking up where you left off, and you and Kenny Stills clearly picked up where you left off from 2016. Why is it that all the things that he can do, why not throw him the ball more? And you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's always like a 3 or 4 target a game guy. Should he be a 7 target a game guy?
Yeah, Kenny can do a lot for us, and I think some of that is just kind of finding the spot in the game for that play. Obviously, there were other calls in the game where we tried to get the ball downfield to him and didn't get the right coverage. So you kind of play the game of biding time and waiting for the opportunity to take your shot. You can't force those things to happen. You make the call to try to get the shot, and if you don't get the right coverage, then you have to be smart with football and find the adjustment, go to 2 to 3. So yeah, sometimes it's frustrating where you get those calls early in the game and you want to hit the home run, you want to get that touchdown, but you don't get what you're looking for. So you have to have the discipline in order to come down and take the completion and get ready to go for the next time and get another opportunity.
What was it like to play receiver on Sunday?
But not even a snap. For what was that, about 3 seconds? Yeah, it was uneventful, I guess I could say.
An NFL catch? I should know this.
I don't think so. Oh, yes, I do. Jarvis threw me one back in Buffalo. I forget what year it was. We ran like a little reverse pass. Should have been a touchdown, but he threw it behind me. Spoken like a true receiver, right?
You put something on social media about social justice. What message you want to get across?
Yeah, my friend Miles wrote that book, and social injustice is just a big topic these days with racial inequality, and I believe that there is an issue in our country that people need to be aware of and conscious of. So I think it's a good read that you can get a take on his view of it.
That's good.
Then they had a couple good series, and then we got a couple going there. So, we'll see how it goes this week, and being on the road, that'll be a good test for us to see where we're at.
Adam saw a story where after you gave the players off on Monday, Ryan went around the offensive players, suggested they come in to watch them. What does that say about his leadership?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I know those guys weren't really excited about how they played. They felt like there was more there for us to have, and there were some execution things. There were some things where we just missed some opportunities. So I think a lot of those guys wanted to make sure that they watched it together and everybody was on the same page. We hit a lot of things today as well to where we can make sure everybody's on the same page, and really that's the biggest thing. That's why you always come in on Monday and try to do that, or Tuesday, whenever you do it. So everybody gets things cleaned up and everybody can move forward, learn from those experiences, and improve on from those.
Is that something? Sorry, quick follow-up. Is that something you expect from your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean he's really always been like that. He's always trying to pull those guys in. He's done it after practices on Fridays, and he's always looking to kind of really get with those receivers, especially in the tight ends, to make sure that they're all on the same page.
How does Devontae seem to?
I mean, he looks like he wants to get out there and get going for real. And it was good to see him running and catching balls. We'll take the progression towards the next step, and we'll move on from there.
What does he bring when he's available that is different than the other guys in the room?
Well, I think he's about a foot taller than everybody else. He's a big guy that has really good long speed, and he's got good quickness in and out of his breaks. I mean, he has an unusual skill set for a guy that size. the times that have been really good with him in games, he can make some freakish plays, and it'll be good to kind of get him going again. And really, it's a start over for him. I mean, whatever happened before he was injured, it's really behind him. I'm glad that he did a good job of staying involved in the meetings and engaged in everything that we were presenting to him, and the individual. He didn't miss anything, so that's smart on his part to make sure that he is right on track to where when he's ready to go, and he can jump right in there and he'll be all right.
Adam, one of the Jets players last night said that they were fully aware of all the line signals on offense. Is that something that probably concerns you, knowing that you guys play them twice a year?
No.
Adam, we saw some nice holes open for the running game, especially in the first half there. What kind of stood out when you went back and looked at the line play during that game?
I thought the guys did a really good job of executing what we asked them to do. Really, we felt like a lot of those things were happening in practice. Sometimes it's hard because our defense, there'll be days when we're going against those ends, when Cam he shuts a lot of things down when we run to his side, and we don't want to just get in the habit of running one way in practice because he's on the other side. But, I think it was the positioning of what their defense was doing and some of the things that we had called. Our guys did a really good job of executing, understanding why we were doing it. With them, the tight ends and the running backs, they were all on the same page, and we executed most of our runs fairly well.
And the two veteran guys that have come in, Sitton and Kilgore, just what difference have they made in the whole unit of this line?
Experience. Those guys have been around, and it seems like that chemistry in that whole room, all those guys from the first guy to the last guy in there, that they all get along, they work together. It's they know how to practice well on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're an intense group. They're not very talkative. They're there to do one thing, that's work and protect the running back, protect the quarterback.
I know you mentioned Monday, you and Shane Day talk about tight end snaps. At this point, just a good comfort level with AJ, experience, been around you before?
It's just kind of how the game worked out. It's one thing to have a plan going in. It's another thing to kind of get it to go the way you want. And some of the things that we had planned for, we either didn't get to, where it might have had some different personnel groupings, and he probably got more reps than what I anticipated at first. But I'm all right with it when he executes the majority of the stuff the way we need it done.
I did see Danny Amendola out there today. Is he okay?
Yeah, well, on Wednesdays he won't be. This is going to be the whole year. He won't be practicing on Wednesdays.
Sitting also?
Yeah, Sitton got banged up in the game, so we're kind of still evaluating him, kind of seeing where we're at.
Anything Jets defensively that stood out to you from the tape Monday? Obviously had a lot of picks around the ball a lot.
Yeah, their defense, Todd's really good. It's one of those things. It's always fun to compete against him, but at the same time, it's a huge challenge because whatever we see on tape, good luck seeing the same thing. And he's always been a tough guy to prepare for, and then the way that I feel like his team is built more of the way that is his personality, and they've moved on from some guys, and it seems like they have a lot of guys that are on the same page as he is, and that's a good thing. And he has a lot of young players that are very good, and I think you can tell by the way they play. Those guys are flying around, they're executing their defenses properly, and they're creating turnovers, which they're scoring points. They're doing a good job.
What were your impressions of Darnold's debut?
Anytime that you can bounce back from a first play of the game like that, that's impressive, and was able to really get in a little bit of a rhythm. I think Jeremy Bates he's a really good coordinator. That's kind of people don't remember that. He had the number 2 offense in 2008 with Denver. They were rolling, and Cutler, that was the year he went to the Pro Bowl. He knows what he's doing. And now he has another opportunity with a young quarterback, and I'd expect no less just because I know how he's going to call plays and how he's coaching those guys. They're going to be successful, and they're going to be tough to go against, and he'll have them ready to go, and he'll do what's best for the quarterback every week to make sure that he has success.
Banged up doesn't sound serious, is it?
We'll see. We're still going through some tests and stuff. I mean, he just had kind of a weird hit, so we're going through that right now.
Are you able to let us know what body part it is?
Or once I find out all the details of everything, then I'll let you guys know.
How's John Denny doing?
He's good. He's good. You know, he'll be ready to go on Sunday, and we'll be good to go.
Frank got a chance to pass Curtis for 4th this week. What do you think that means?
To him, he won't even talk. If you ask him, he's not going to talk about it. He's so wired in on just helping us win. You know, it just speaks volumes for what he's accomplished. And it's unbelievable the amount of years he's played and the amount of carries he's had over his career and the success he's had, things he's battled through. I mean, you know, when you watch him practice, I mean, at his age, it's you can't tell. And it was fun for me to watch, you know, him get introduced, from him playing, getting out there and ripping off a couple runs. I mean, we get 1st and 20. I don't, you know, remember the last time we got a 1st and 20 on a run and get an explosive play like that. And guys did a great job blocking it up front, and then he found that hole, and Kenny did a good job of getting to the safety, and, you know, he did the rest. And, you know, it was great to see him get going a little bit. Him and Drake, it's a good combination. Those guys work well together.
This week, I guess you got a couple bigger receivers on there. Is that something different you can do to prepare your corners for that size they have on, you know, the outside?
I mean, we could go try to sign some bigger guys so they can see them on scout team, and that's about it. But, you know, they've had to go against, you know, Devontae quite a bit. So, I mean, that's really a lot of the experience they can lean on from practice. But every week it's going to be a different body type. You know, they know what they need to do to use their strengths against those type of players, and you have to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and you have to get hands on them, you have to reroute them, and then when the ball's up in the air and some kind of jump ball, they got to be aggressive to the ball.
With Albert Wilson, the variety of roles he's kind of lining up on offense, how enthusiastic is he that, you know, he's going to be used in so many different ways?
Oh, he's excited. You know, it's almost like we had a plan for him all this time, you know, so, I mean, he likes doing all the things we're asking him to do, and, you know, we'll keep expanding it.
Is that something that you had like before you were signed that you could do?
Yeah. Sorry I didn't show it in training camp, guys.
That's good.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, if you did, please hit the subscribe button, you know, share it with your friends, post on Facebook, you know, whatever, hit the like button, and definitely leave me some comments, questions, concerns, anything you'd like to see or hear in the videos, you know, stuff like that. So definitely let me know. And of course, the most important thing is subscribe. So with that said, I'll see you guys soon, and fins up.